So this is another video in our hashtag JustBTS09. This is part of our August series, which will be going on throughout the entire month of August, which is fantastic. So make sure if you haven't checked it out already, check out BeChiclyUnique09's channel, and it will be linked down below in almost all of these, or probably all of these August series videos. And there will also be a playlist that will be hashtag JustBTS09. So the video today is about pre-organization for school. So I'm just going to talk about a few things that you want to consider when you're buying supplies, and a few things that you want to consider when you're organizing your supplies. So first thing I want to talk about is binders versus notebooks and folders. So some people don't like binders, or some people just get the one big binder and put everything in it, and other people don't do either of those things and they just do notebooks and folders. So the difference between binders, big binders, and notebooks and folders is basically the amount of organization you feel like you need to have. So while any single one of those things can be organized, I feel like having a binder for every class is the most organized you can be. Personally, I feel that way, but some people might feel different, and this is totally not, like, this is totally like biased to me. This is what I think, so if you guys feel differently, it's okay. Big binders. I personally think that they're a horrible idea, because every person I've seen with a huge binder, they just stuff all their stuff in there and everything's falling out, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to scream. So I feel like big binders are probably not the best idea if you want to stay organized, but if you don't really care about organization and you just want a place to put all your stuff, it's a perfect thing because it's huge and big and easy to carry around, because you don't really need a backpack, you can just carry around the binder. There's ways to organize those big binders, like you can put dividers in, you can do an agenda, but I still feel like everything's all together and I feel like it's just too clustered and everything, so you'd have to clean it out like every week, you'd have to get rid of stuff, and I feel like that's just too much. So I decided not to go with a big binder the first time. So the other thing that has to do with this is notebooks and folders. So notebooks and folders are a great idea for people who want to pack light. So like for instance, high school, I feel like I'm not going to do a binder for every class. I'm only doing binders for a few classes, and the rest of the classes I'll just do notebooks and folders. But the only problem I have with notebooks and folders is that folders need to be cleaned out a lot, because it obviously can't fit the entire year's stuff in one folder. So you probably need one folder for each unit, so you need to go shopping quite a lot for stuff, and that can get expensive depending on what the dealio is. But there's usually only 3 terms, so you can get probably like $1 per term spent for each class on folders alone, which is pretty nice. But then you also have to add the fee of notebooks, which you have to buy 1 for each class, and most of them probably have to be 5 subject, 1 for each unit that you do. So my overall feeling of those is that I think they're a great idea. I don't have many downsides to them, but you do have to go shopping a lot. Then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was binders. Binders for middle school and elementary school were my favorite. I feel like for high school there'll be too much to carry around, but binders for middle school were perfect, because you had your locker that you went back to every 10 minutes to grab something, and binders kept everything super organized, and you knew where everything was because you had the dividers and you had everything you needed. And I just felt like I was so into binders, I didn't even want to think about not having binders in high school. But now that I see my sister and everything, I'm like, you know what, I'll stay away from binders this year. Just for a few classes I'll do binders. So for high school, I'm doing binders for math and homework and maybe one other class. I can't figure out, probably English. So that's my thoughts on binders. I really have nothing against them except for their weight. They're really heavy to carry around if you're going to carry around a backpack all day, which I probably will. The next thing I wanted to talk about was planners and agendas. So like I said in my balance with YouTube, I think planners and agendas are the best advice I can give you. They keep you super organized, and you can write down all your homework every night, and then you come home and you check off what you need and you check off what you don't, and it's perfect. I love it. I really don't have anything else to say on it. If you want more with agendas and planners, make sure to watch my Balance with YouTube video, because therefore you have more information on it. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was backpacks versus purses and handbags. So I'm using this backpack, which is a mix between a handbag and a backpack. I'm using this backpack, which is a mix between a handbag and a backpack, but it's more of a backpack than a handbag, but it's super fashionable and I love it so much. So this is a great compromise if you don't know whether to get a backpack or a handbag. So handbags, I would think, like, go over the shoulder and they're just big and you can carry all your binders, all your notebooks, all your folders, whatever you need. But backpacks are more like sporty, or they're just kind of easier and more comfortable. They're just easier overall, but I feel like people want to mix because they want to have a cute backpack for the comfort, but they also want the cuteness of a handbag, I guess. And they also want the storage of a backpack, which can fit way more. So that's pretty much all I had to say about pre-organization. If you guys have any more questions, please ask me. Maybe I'll make just like a misc video where everybody can talk to me and I'll answer all their questions and do whatever. So thank you guys so much. Please make sure to tag us if you do one of our DIYs or anything, and please give us ideas for what you want in giveaways, because we need them so bad. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.